Board for February 23rd, 2026. It's a little after 6:30. We do have a quorum. There are four of us here, so we have a quorum. Can I get, Jim, can you do the invocation for us, please?
Be glad to. Dear God, bless this meeting of the planning board and continue to watch over the first responders who are ever in our hearts and prayers. Be supportive of the staff that guides us in our deliberations and remind us of our responsibilities as we deliberate in this planning meeting. Remind us of your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jim. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the November 17th meeting?
Make the motion to approve the minutes.
Kenny motion. Can I get a second?
I second it.
Rhonda second. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It approves. Any additions or deletions of agenda items? John, anything? Reports of committees, members, and staff.
No reports.
Huh?
No reports.
You sure?
Yeah.
We have no old business, so we'll get right into new business. 7A, discussion and recommendation of ZC 25-11 filed by Kurt Odom, Fairview Flex and Warehouse LLC to allow 2 warehouse buildings with flex office units for lease, property located at 8405 Fairview Road and 7830 Large Oak Lane, tax parcels number 139-012-02 and 139-012-38. How you want to proceed here, John?
Ask the applicant, Kurt Odom, to do his presentation.
All right, Mr. Odom, you have the floor.
Again, like was on the sheet, I'm Kurt Odom, representing Fairview Flex and Warehouse LLC. As you see on the screen now, this is the property as it sits, 8405 Fairview Road. There's a small white house.
Kurt, can I just stop you just for a second? Could you give us your address? Your mailing address?
My mailing address is 7210 Concord Highway, Monroe, North Carolina, 28110.
Thank you.
Yep. So as you see, there's a small white house on the front parcel. It'll be 2 parcels that we'll combine and then put 2 warehouse flex units on them. The front one will be more office, the side one will be more flex space, warehouse with an office for small businesses. As you can see, let's see, maybe,
Space
no.
bar.
Mm-mm.
Sorry. Here, I'll just run it. Yeah,
There you go.
we'll just do it.
Was that me or you?
I'll run it.
Okay.
Just tell me when to change it.
Yes, sir, as you can see, the Large Oak Lane unit will be more sectioned off in smaller units for more small business type operations that has storage and a small office with it. The one facing Fairview Road will be more standard office businesses that you see. There will be a septic system on this parcel, as you can see in the back right corner if you're looking at it from Fairview Road. The sewer stops a couple parcels back, kind of in front of the firehouse there, and then it starts going negative fall back towards 485. So we had to design a septic system onto this one. Not what we wanted to do. If there's any way we could get tie into that septic or sewer system, that would be what we prefer. But as you see right now, it's designed for a septic system to make sure it would work. And then we have an underground detention system on the back of the property that would house all the stormwater. We do have a fence and trees that outline the property, kind of for hiding the parking. The buildings will be 4-sided brick, as we've discussed before with the planning committee. You can go to the next one now, John, and we can come back to that one. You can kind of see how the layouts of the buildings work. Go back one, John, please. This isn't set in stone. This is just kind of see what we could get into these buildings. Obviously, if somebody wants to rent out more than one of them, we're more than glad to give them 3, 4, 5, 6, however much space they need. But this is what we could get as it sits right now on paper. Here you go, John. These are the kind of standard layouts that we have for the elevations. 4-sided brick. There will be windows and doors in the front. The back sections will come with a roll-up garage, as you'll see for the flex side. You can go to the next one, John. There's the back section. So each unit will have its own warehouse type space, and we'll put an office in there as well too with it. These are just more side elevations, back elevations for it. Kind of more up close.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll start down. Jim, anything?
Yes, how did you estimate the number of parking spaces that would be necessary to support these two buildings?
The parking that we had on here, we followed the outline that you guys have on the, what's that called?
UDO.
UDO, that's what I was looking for. So it's 2.5 parking is what we have right now. Obviously, that's not what we wanted as well, but with the septic system and underground detention system, we tried to fit as much as we could on there. If there's any way possible we can get more, we're not opposed to that. But as it sits right now, that's where we could try to fit them in as of right now.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Jim?
No.
You good? Kenny?
So this will be primarily storage?
Not storage, no, it'll be office warehouse.
Office
So if you
warehouse.
think of a HVAC contractor who needs office space to run a couple, people out of the office and have storage for their metal bending, and auto detailing that has roll a car in there, detail, office space for office work kind of deal. So we're targeting more small business, like the smaller side of the business, people who need space to store a couple things and work on them as well as that office, that true office feel with a couple desks, a couple assistants is what we're trying to look for there.
Okay. And I was thinking there was a plan that had topo on it. Do you remember, did y'all have a plan that had topo? Because what I was getting at is you got underground detention, and I didn't see a way, it looks like the only place you can send it is back to the,
It'll be the back right corner if you're looking at it from Fairview.
Yeah, is there
And that's
enough-
the way the topo runs.
is
'cause
there
it all-
enough fall there to have a underground, that positive outfall?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because that's the way it all tracks back to that back right corner. Because if the parcel to the back right, if you're looking at the paper, that's where the pond is for that park.
Yes.
So all of it falls back towards that pond back
Yes.
there.
But your underground detention is going to be, what, 4 feet beneath the ground?
It
So-
will have to be spec'd out by the engineers depending on the
Yeah,
capacity.
that's what I was getting at is, and the reason I'm saying this is if you're planning on it and it doesn't work, then we need to know that now. But the underground detention,
Yeah, it'll definitely have enough capacity for what we're looking at here.
well, I'm talking about the release.
The release, yeah, it's engineered where it does.
Okay, so they've got a positive outfall from the bottom of the underground detention.
Yes, sir.
To a-
Yes, sir. Yeah. And that's in our greater detail of our engineered plans, not in just the zoning plan right here that we
Okay,
show.
yeah, I didn't see that much relief on your site, so I was thinking, are you gonna have to get an easement from this guy to dig and put a ditch in or pipe? I didn't see how.
No, the outflow should come right out the back, and we should have enough fall from there, because we'll build the site up. You can see the retaining wall where the parking spots are. And then once that's built up, obviously we'll have enough fall coming down from that retaining wall to get back to that back right corner, as well as natural fall, because that's where it all slopes as well
Yeah.
right now too.
Yeah, but it's got to fall from 4 feet beneath that retaining wall.
Correct. Yes, sir.
So I was just concerned that you had enough room for that. Other than that, really, I don't really have any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Rhonda?
Okay, so it's really tight back there. And so I was at the meeting I watched the meeting with the Board of Commissioners, and you mentioned that, or the representative you had mentioned that they were enlarging the street
Yes.
Is it the entire street all the way down?
It's just where our parcels are. So where those first two parcels are, as you see, we will enlarge that, I think, to 24 feet. I think it's could be 16 or 18 feet right now, and then we will enlarge that to 24 feet, as well as a sidewalk that will go down there too. So there will be curb and gutter with a sidewalk, and we'll enlarge that to 24 feet. Because right now it's small, and that's what we've heard
Yes.
from the neighbors as well, is when someone backs out or you're trying to cross paths there, it doesn't work. So we're trying to make some of that relief on that street, especially with cars pulling out onto Large Oak Lane, to make sure there's 2 lanes there so people can turn and pass as needed. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And so if they go all the way down, there's no cul-de-sac, so there's no turnaround. Is
But we
that-
do have 2 entrances there, so there is a loop within that facility as well.
Okay.
So there shouldn't be any point to go down all the way.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
As soon as the business portion stops, it goes residential.
Okay.
So unless they're a moron and just miss the turn, then, yeah, they shouldn't be going down that way.
Okay. And you did mention about the septic system,
Yes, ma'am.
that you would prefer it be,
I would prefer to have, I think all of us would prefer to
Right.
have that. If we can get Charlotte Water on our side to maybe drill a couple parcels through into the manhole, then that would be fantastic, because then we could use that spot for more parking. We could use that to enlarge, the site and help, all of our needs, so to say. And then we wouldn't have to keep up a septic system as well.
what about the right and left turn lane out on Fairview?
We didn't put it in because we didn't feel it was necessary with our TTM. I know that's a hot subject for you guys, but we've saw in the past from what you guys approved for a couple different parcels on this road where there was no left turn lane. For the funeral home, you said there's gonna be police out there to escort in and out. That's still gonna back up traffic, so it's still gonna have hindrance to traffic there. And then also the dentist office that was approved, even though it was a smaller rezoning detail, still an office setting that never had to get a left turn lane. We don't feel like it is truly fair to us to make us do something like that when it's not needed within the traffic detail, or a couple other rezonings didn't have it as well.
And I understand where you're coming from with that, but you have a possibility of having 10 to 12 businesses, different types of business.
Sure.
And then they may sublease out their half of whatever. And I know you're intending for you to have a certain type of business, but it could be a nail salon, it could be a hair salon.
Could be.
And so that's even more traffic going down there. So when we make decisions, we have to look at the possibility of it being more than what you're saying at this time.
Sure, or it could just be one tenant, and then, there's no telling as far as this point right now.
Okay, that's all I have for now.
Okay. I have a couple concerns. One of them is the same concern that Rhonda just brought up, and that's the amount of traffic that can come in. You fill up all these places. Number one, I don't think you have enough parking. 2.5 parking places per unit. So one guy's manning the store, a couple people come in, you're filled up. Seems to me you're squeezing an awful lot into a small space.
Could be, right now.
Could
But
be.
there'd be, like I said, we don't know. We split it up to 10, I think, on the larger unit. If someone buys 2 or 3, that could go down for sure, as far as tenants per building, so to say. and
But
what
we got
kind
to
of
look at
fleets
your
they
worst
have.
case. You've got it set up that you can do 10 and 5, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And if you did that, you don't have enough parking spaces, I don't think. Are you going to allow people to park on the street?
No, there will be no street parking. It's not wide enough.
So where do people go when you overflow? You have a
We would-
salon there, and you have
correct.
several people in chairs, you have several chairs, and so you've got, say, 4 people show up, plus the 4 people that are working the chairs, that's 8 slots. All right, so you've took up 20% of your slots with one store.
Sure. I don't see a business like that wanting something here. We're more facilitating toward more, like I said, commercial contractor type aspects where there's only a few trucks because of the parking. The only thing I could think of to try to facilitate that is maybe use some of the parking across the street from the strip mall across the street that they have. There's copious amounts there that they don't use. So if we were able to sign a lease with them to gain some of that parking, that could be definitely a possibility. And that would be more for the people that would be stationary there, like you
Right,
said.
the
if they-
workers.
Yeah, correct, exactly. And so,
But that's if we can find a lease, right? Have you
correct.
talked to them about that?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, sir.
All right. I've just got a real concern about, I don't think you have nearly enough parking. John, isn't there a parking quota for retail or whatever?
Yes, but this is not being set up for retail, so retail is definitely much more intense. If this was a restaurant or something like that, yeah, exactly. But if we look at this as, the way it's being presented as a flex building, parking count's pretty low, I think it's,
So what can go in, tell me what can go, what are the things that can go into a flex building?
oh, I had it on there.
What are the things that can go in, what are flex buildings? Tell me what they are. Such as?
It could be exactly what he just said, like a plumbing company, somebody that has some parts that they're assembling, a contractor that has.
Can it be an
office.
HVAC company that has parts there that people come in to get the parts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you
absolutely.
consider that or more retail?
Yeah, I mean,
Is it
that.
over the
well-
counter then?
Well, to be clear, I think if you mean like people coming in and getting it, like they're selling it wholesale or selling it to other business
Selling it to
operations. that are then-
HVAC contractors.
Yeah, I don't think there would be an issue with that, and I'm sure that happens. But as far as open up to the public, like a storefront, this is not what this is doing.
So if they tried to do that, whatever storefront it is, let's just say there's an HVAC company that's selling HVAC supplies.
Yeah.
I couldn't go in there and buy them?
Well, so that's going to get more into a retail environment, and
All
that
right.
would
How do you police
require
that?
that would require specific approval from you guys. So here's a suggestion, and it's going to be impossible to do it on the fly here. So this unfortunately means deferring this a month, but is if there are uses that everyone is okay with and uses that you're uncomfortable with, you can restrict those uses. So you can, with this, you can say, these uses are allowed, this list of uses absolutely not allowed. These uses can be considered if you go through conditional zoning. So like retail. Retail, we don't want to allow it, but we'll say we can consider it if you go back through a conditional zoning process. Or just strike it out, just say no retail service, no nail salon, no haircut place, nothing like that. So you can start to limit the uses that you're concerned that would cause the parking issues.
Unless I saw a list, or unless we saw a list, I don't know where to go with that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is impossible to do this on the fly. I mean, we would
Right.
really have to punt this, and, I mean, I would have to share all the, I mean, it's a large table of
Can
uses. I
imagine.
mean, I would have to share all that with you.
Don't you have a concern about the amount of parking for this?
I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, two things. Number one, he's correct. Our parking ordinance, when it talks about these industrial uses, it's 0.25 per 1,000 square foot of area. So that's, a space every 4,000 square feet. It's very little parking. And over the last probably 10, 15 years, I mean, we really have gone away from these minimum requirements, and we really lean more on the applicant to tell us, because they know their parking demands more than we do. So we really, over the years, have been leaning more on the applicant to share with us what they think their parking need is. Because, by the way, if he underparks, it doesn't hurt the public, it hurts his business. He's gonna be in trouble, not the public. Because like he said, he's not parking on the street, and we wouldn't allow it. So it's not gonna be an issue there. So that's kind of the way we've been treating parking in the past. It's more sort of leaning with the applicant to kind of let them tell you what they think their needs are, and then they kind of work through
I mean,
that.
it already looks pretty junky down that way when you go to those stores, the first stores down there where people are just, there's cars everywhere.
Yeah, it's an older-
There's no system. They're just kind of every which way in those spots. And I can't imagine somebody saying, well, I'm only going to be here 15 minutes. I'll park across the street or something. They're going to pull on the street thinking I'm out of here before the police get here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
that-
would.
That's certainly true, yeah.
Yeah.
On a residential street though, I would say that's a lot more frowned upon than you would think. especially with parking across the street and parking within the facility,
You deal with contractors? You
every day.
think they care?
Say that again?
You think they care?
Not one bit.
They don't. I mean, yeah,
We've also, like you said, with the junkie portion of it, when we met with you guys before, or at least the planning department, we're making sure we're doing four-sided brick. We're making sure we have enough screening to cover it from the road, so it doesn't look like what you see across the street. You know, we're trying to facilitate this the best aesthetically as we can to be more like the downtown section, as we were instructed. But again, yeah, the space is gonna dictate what we can do with it, and that's what we're trying to do the best we can to facilitate what we need as well.
all right. I'll get off of that for a minute. All right, let's talk about left turn lane. Right turn lane, you've got a decel lane, which is good. That's 218 is not the biggest road that ever was either. You talked about that residential. It's getting to be more and more traffic. I go on 218 all the time because I live down that way, and it's getting to be more and more traffic all the time. There are certain times of day that it's just, it's the Mint Hill traffic jam, believe it or not. I mean, I never thought I would see that, but your TTM, your traffic study, so what was the criteria for your traffic study?
There was 4 to 5, 6 different intersections I think we had to study. We had it with the decel lane already in the traffic study.
Right.
And that's because when we came to the preliminary meetings, that's what you guys wanted to see, or when we met with the
You
commissioner.
guys isn't us. though.
I know, I
All
see
right.
that now. I
Yeah,
never saw you
got
guys,
that?
but as far as
Yeah.
the planning, that's
Right.
what I'm trying to get through. And so we had that spec'd into the plans as well, or in the beginning. That was easy for us. We could use our own land,
Right.
put it over and be done. Now that you guys are trying to do a left-hand turn lane, after the TTM came back and said, no, it's not needed, the traffic counts aren't there. Now we have to try to go through CDOT and acquire land, which could be shut down in the beginning. If Joe Bob across the street doesn't want to give us the right of way, that's done. Can't do anything unless you eminent domain.
Right.
You know, are you guys gonna help us if this doesn't work out?
Yeah, somebody will. Might not be successful, but I mean, we would try.
So,
But, you know, I can't imagine, you say there were other places down there that got a relief, all right? The funeral home got relief. If you're willing to bring police out there from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night to
I
make
heard that
direct
same,
traffic.
argument.
Oh, did you? All right. So, I mean, and the dentist shop is a very small in and out, you know, it's not much there. The strip mall across the street doesn't have a lot of activity. You know, this is gonna create some activity if you have the worst case scenario for us, not for you. I mean, you'd like to rent out every one of those little spaces. But I just worry what we're doing to that area down there. You know, the original plan was that would be a residential area. And if you look at the area around there, you got Mecklenburg has bought a park back there down that road, and you're going to be taking. Yeah, I grew up in industrial, and we were required to have ponds that caught if we had spills, oil spills, and all that stuff. I mean, depending on what you have in here, it's no telling what you're dumping into that pond off of that.
Well, that's something that we have to be careful with as well. It's zoned in industrial, but that doesn't mean you're gonna have industrial type businesses there. They're not gonna be mixing chemicals or, you know, anything of that nature. If the worst you could have is maybe an auto shop with oil, which would have to, you know, go with definitely the EPA standards of how you
Right.
collect and figure this out. Because like you said, with a body of water that close, that's where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
And we both know we can't play that game. And if we hold these, it's not also gonna be the tenant that's gonna be their heads on the chopping block, it's gonna be us as well. So we're not looking just to build, sell, wash our hands, say good riddance. We're gonna be in there as well too. It's gonna be something that we try to keep and hold for, you know, our future, you know, family's game plan.
Yeah.
So
What's your timeline on this thing?
if we can get through permitting and that's the hard part. I mean, that could take a year to try to get through permits and things like that with Mecklenburg County. You know, we could build this in 8 to 10 to 12 months pretty easily. You know, there's not much that you have to do with a two acre parcel. The site work will take probably 3 to 4 months. The build will probably take 6 to 8. So it all depends on the permitting, on how this goes and how we can get through with Mecklenburg County stormwater, you know, those design aspects of it. We're saying worst case scenario 2 years, if it takes a year to get through permitting and a year to build. Hopefully we can do it within
And to
18
buy
months.
and go through eminent domain and everything.
So the argument I had also with the left-hand turn lane, yes, this is residential now. We all know that this corridor can't stay residential. It's too much of an access from 485 to 51 for just what we're talking about. There's too much commercial already there in the upper half of it. The back half has to go that way too, because it's too valuable of land to people, the small businesses, so to say. That's why we're trying to put there. When I drove by, like I said, I live 10 minutes down the road on 218. I drive it every day too to go up to the city. Even though I'm in Union County, that's my gateway to get up there.
Yours and everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And so that's
That's
what,
the point I'm getting to.
yeah. But also, if the 20-year plan is to have this and make this corridor commercial, you already have the 60-foot maintained right-of-way there. So CDOT already sees the writing on the wall that there's an expansion coming here. If the city doesn't do it or help with this, then why do we have to be the guinea pigs to say, all right, you expand it in this one section, but 1 year down the road, we're gonna do the whole thing or push CDOT to do that. So, okay, so we just spent $500,000 to try to expand this for you guys, but now you're gonna do the whole thing and facilitate that. How does that look from you guys to us when we're just trying to make something work for the town, for the city as well too?
No, I understand where you're going, but you got to understand where we're going too.
I do.
Yeah,
There's a catch-22 to both of these
Oh,
arguments.
I agree. I agree. It just, I could see this corridor down here being, industrial, but maybe not back so far. I mean, I think to me, you're putting a lot in a small space with a lot of unknowns. And that just, it worries me. I mean, we're trying to look out for the town and for the people around here.
Understood.
So that worries me a little bit, that not knowing what's going to go in there.
I've heard that from you guys and the commissioners as well, but I haven't heard as far as a committee of, okay, then what do you want to see? You know, if this is going to benefit the town and the people, then what do you want to see there?
And I tell you what, the front building is fine. I think that's not bad at all. And if you had that or some form of that with enough parking to handle whatever might happen, whatever you think is going to go in there, and I still can't picture all the things, that list. I can't picture what that list looks like in my head. You know, and whatever that list is, I just think you've gone too far with the other building, or maybe not the other building, with that many buildings, with 15 slots with that space right there. I just don't see it happening. And I don't know what the right answer is, Kurt. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, but
So-
to me, to look at this, to look at the plan, to look at kind of what's around that area right now, to look at the 20-year plan, to me, it just doesn't fit. So I don't
Kind
know.
of what we were modeling off of, if you can picture it, is the one, if you keep going down 218 up past 51.
Which way am I going?
Properties.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the Souder properties?
Yeah, correct. And so they have
drum
flex right here. They have flex spaces right here. It's an older building, and I've tried to rent in there as well. But it's set up kind of just like we are. You have small businesses that can rent an office space to house 4 or 5 different people if needed. And then you also have flex spaces that have roll-up garages with a small office for a couple chairs that is needed. And they do very well.
Theirs is a little different only because they're not going down onto a small street. It's right on the street. It goes in and out.
It's on a main
circle.
street,
It's on the
yeah.
main street. And
We can put the accesses onto the main street, But then you guys wouldn't like that because you don't want people pulling in and off of 218 all the time. That's what we get from
The
everybody
right
we
and
talk
left turn
to
lane, you
with CDOT.
can.
Yeah. But I don't see that being a deficit if we're gonna widen that road for the town and for the people.
When's that gonna happen?
It'll happen in the site work detail of,
Oh, you're talking about the side road?
Yeah, the
I
large
thought
oak
you were
lane,
talking about
correct.
218 and when the state or somebody might do that.
because what the complaints is we've heard of is the people that own the shop next to it block the road. They're horrible tenants. They don't care about anybody's feelings or desires or whatever. So if we can take that aspect away by widening that road, then we can at least help out on that section too for people.
These property, the Souter property, it's way more land, and there are no homes around there. It's just a better spot. Your spot is very tight. It's just not, I don't think it's a good spot for what you're trying to do.
Not for as big as what you're trying to do, I think, is my concern. I don't know where Rhonda is, but that's my concern. All right, let me see if I have. That was one of the questions I had was about the septic in the runoff field. You know, what do you, so individually, if I was to do an oil change shop in there, is that one of the things that can happen in there?
Yes, sir.
So if I was to do that, within that shop, I have to have a retention area for oil spill and a separate, oil separator and all that, right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. All right. What do you guys think? Anybody, anything else? Am I being too picky?
No, I think we've covered it.
I kind of, with John about the parking, I think it's not enough, but you're the person that's going to suffer, not anybody else. But can we put more trees on that would be the east side, some understory in addition to the canopy?
Where do you see that? Where you go back to the plans, John, please? Because we have trees outlining the whole property. All those little star sections there where the road is are the trees that we have on the property.
Yes. And they're roughly 30 feet apart? No,
I would say they're
40
closer than
40
that.
No, they're farther than that.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Say they're roughly 50 feet apart. What I was saying, understory
Yeah.
in between the large maturing.
I see what you're saying. So
Canopy
you're
trees.
looking at a large maturing than a small maturing.
You're just lining with tall,
Yeah.
big trees.
Sure.
Canopy
Yeah.
trees, and I'm thinking whatever goes next to there, what's there now, John? Is it on the east side? Is that residential or is it?
That's that way.
Right now is a house there.
I'm not sure for the directions.
Towards
Yeah.
485.
Towards 485, yeah, it's 2.
Oh, this
That's
way?
2 homes, yeah.
Right there.
So just, if those stayed for whatever, just some, like I said, understory
Yeah,
to
that's fine.
add some
Yeah.
screening.
That's no problem.
But I don't think there's enough right of way to put in. Right turn lanes are nice. They're not a problem solver. Left turn lanes are the problem solver, but they're the problem to have enough room to fit in. And I don't know that we'll ever have enough room to widen Fairview to accommodate a third lane.
Oh, yeah, I agree, because even going where the bank is, that left turn lane, people get confused and they're going in, right there with the BP.
Yeah.
And so trying to do, I'd say an unfavorable recommendation. I'd like
All right, Jim, you got anything else?
No.
All right, Kenny. All right, so can I get a motion?
I'd like to make a motion for an unfavorable recommendation.
All right, you need to read this whole thing here. It's
Okay.
part of your motion.
ZC 25-11 appears to be inconsistent with the adopted land use plan, which designates the subject properties for mixed residential. Mixed residential, this area is characterized by moderate density residential development. It is comprised of predominantly single-family detached homes, as well as attached single-family units such as townhomes and duplexes. The mix of housing types are intended to create intergenerational neighborhoods and appeal to a variety of age groups and lifestyle preferences. Improve open spaces in the form of pocket and neighborhood parks are interspersed to support neighborhood gatherings and some recreational activities, and greenway trails within are located neighborhood gatherings and some, repeating that, to connect such parks as well as provide links to greenway trails and walkways in neighboring developments. The proposed light industrial zoning is incapable with the land use plan vision for residential development and does not advance the intended neighborhood-oriented character. The request introduces noise, traffic, and operational characteristics that are incomparable with the land use plan vision for residential. Therefore, the rezoning request is deemed unreasonable and inconsistent with the land use plan.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I get a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Did you say aye? Okay, all right,
To the unfavorable.
yeah. So, yeah, and that doesn't stop you from going ahead, as you well know, of going ahead and taking it to the commissioners, who I guess you've been dealing with for it sometime. Yeah, don't let this stop whatever you want to do.
It won't.
I know.
No, we'll figure it out.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
appreciate you
Thank you
guys.
for your
Thank you for your
time.
time, yep.
Yes, sir. All right, 7B, discussion and recommendations on ZC 25-12 filed by Joshua, I'm not going to get this right, Shereppo Huntington Bank to allow a bank with drive-through property located at 7701 Matthews Mint Hill Road, tax parcel 137063-04 and 137-63012, I'm sorry. Go
Good
ahead.
evening, Mr. Chair, Planning Board members. My name is Eddie Moore with McAdams. We are a land development design firm. My address is 2100 South Tryon Street, Suite 400, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Give me your name again, Eddie
Eddie Moore.
Moore.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And zip code 28203. Next slide, please. I, along with Jeremy Fisher, who's here this evening, he is with Gensler, who's the project architect. We are assisting Huntington Bank with this conditional rezoning. Next slide. So the site is approximately 1.74 acres. It consists of two existing parcels that have been developed that have been used over the years as non-residential buildings. Currently, the smaller site has an entrance off of Hillside Drive, and the larger parcel has an entrance off of Matthews Mint Hill Road. Next slide. So the underlying zoning will remain the same. The proposed bank will have an associated drive-through and necessitating the need for the rezoning for a conditional zoning plan. Next slide, please. And looking at the comprehensive plan, the place type for this area is a downtown place type, and we feel that a financial institution meets the intent of the comprehensive plan. Next slide. So the request is to redevelop the site, take down the two existing buildings that are about 4,100 square feet, redevelop the parcels with about approximately 2,800 square foot bank and drive-through. The only access to the site will be off of Hillside Drive, so the secondary access for the larger parcel that will go away, and the Hillside Drive access will be pushed back a little bit further than the existing driveway today. Sidewalk will be provided for pedestrian access connecting to Matthews Mint Hill Road. Next slide, please. During the Board of Commissioners meeting, a question was raised as to whether the Mint Hill Historical Society could use the parking lot of the bank. And Huntington Bank is fine with a shared parking arrangement. So should the rezoning be approved, and when the bank takes ownership of the property, they'll enter into a parking agreement. But they're fine with that, and we would like to enter that as an additional condition as part of the rezoning. Next slide. So we also did a traffic technical memorandum. The 4 intersections that you do see at the top, those intersections were studied as part of this. Kind of broke down the trip generation comparison of the 2 existing buildings and the bank itself, and the bank will generate less trips than the 2 buildings at their current size. And based off the findings of the study, there's not going to be any major impact on the area roadway system, and no off-site improvements were identified. Next slide, please. So here is a rendering of the bank itself. The building will be positioned in that northeast corner of Hillside and Matthews Mint Hill. You can see the entrance to the bank. Behind the bank itself will be the vehicular parking area. And then you can see the circulation of the drive-through itself. It was designed on purpose because Matthews Mint Hill Road is actually a little bit higher than the site itself. So we'll just have 1 lane of traffic coming towards Matthews Mint Hill, and then turn into the actual kiosks themselves. With the site, there is an opportunity for tree save because there are some significant trees along the site. And we will be planting trees along to help buffer the Matthews Mint Hill Road and the drive-through itself. Next slide, please. So this is the condition at the intersection. So you can see that there's about a 3.5, 4-foot retaining wall. And so the bank will be kind of positioned in the same, maybe a little bit closer to Hillside Drive, but the drive-through, the cars will be lower than what they will be on Matthews Mint Hill. Next slide, please. So there is an exception request as part of the conditional rezoning, and out of the code it reads that no frontage wall shall remain unpierced by a window or functional general access doorway for more than 16 feet. And we have 2 portions of the building that we're not meeting. There are 2 spots. The area on the left, it's the bank vault. That's about 18 feet by 19 feet. And then to the right, it's broken up into a conference room and a break room, and that's about 18 feet tall by 32.5 feet. Now, there are some design features that are incorporated into this building that'll help mitigate the exception requests that we are asking. One will be the using of signage along these areas to kind of break up those walls. Differing exterior building materials. You'll see in the following slides, we do have some glazed brick for one portion, white brick for the other. There'll be windows along the front, and also there is a roof overhang. Next slide, please. So this is taken, if you're looking down onto the building, the green outline, that is the vault area. So that portion of the building projects out about 6.5 feet. The orange area, there's a small little projection, about 1/2 foot, and that will be a different exterior material than the vault itself. But then there's also a roof projection way up on top, and that almost covers most of the building. You know, there's some area that's to the right that will not be covered. Next slide, please. So this is how it all looks when it comes together. The vault itself will have green glazed brick, and the other wall area will be white brick. We'll incorporate some signage. But as you can see, there's some banding, some black banding around the building, glass, and pretty interesting. Don't see this every day in a bank is natural light. And there is a ribbon of windows that are along the top that'll offer a lot of natural light inside the building. And then the roof overhang, so that projection, so that roof overhang will come out just about as far as the vault wall itself. So there'll be a lot of differing materials, and it just will not be a stark looking wall there. Next slide. So here are a couple other elevations. The upper left, this along Matthews Mint Hill Road. This also includes the drive-through, and you can see how it is a little bit lower than the other portion of the bank itself. The upper right, that's the rear of the bank, facing the north. The bottom left, there's a little box there, but that's the Hillside Drive side, which is pretty much all windows with the exception of the black ribbon. And then the north facing area. And then the bottom right, that is the elevation that we looked at in the previous slide. Next slide, please. So here are some interiors as to what it will look like. There'll be two entrances into the bank. One off of Matthews Mint Hill Road, and then one along the north side or the back of the building itself. So this will kind of, you come in, have the greeters there, folks you can talk to, offices are on the left, and then a lot of natural light as part of that window ribbon. Next slide, please. So here are some 3D elevations, kind of looking at three different sides of the bank. So the upper left, that's to the right, that's the Hillside Drive facade, and then the north-facing facade. The upper right, that's the Matthews Mint Hill Road elevation, and then the elevation facing east, and then the elevation to the bottom, that's facing north, so the back of the bank, and the east side elevation of the building. And from there, appreciate your time and glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. We'll start down here. Rhonda?
You said different types of material. What is this, brick or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The green brick, it'll be a green glazed brick,
Oh, okay.
and then it'll be white brick
Okay.
along the other side. There'll be a little bit of metal, I believe, that's incorporated around the band, but other than that, it'll be glass, brick.
Okay. I like it, the way it looks, but I'm wondering if it would go with the rest of the town down the street with the colors. I mean, green is my favorite color, but maybe I'm just thinking too far ahead. Has no one thought about that?
I don't think we have a color definition.
Okay,
In the
it doesn't
ordinances.
matter. Okay.
I'm red, green colorblind, so don't look at
Oh,
me.
okay. It's just that we've got, the regular brick going all the way down. That's all I have.
Understand?
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
All right. Kenny?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Eddie. Is there a need, I'm just worried when you get people coming in that they're, well, I guess, just seems like once you get past the lane coming out of the drive-through into that main stub that comes off of Hillside, there's a bunch of area to the right that I'm thinking,
It was an all or nothing deal when it came to the potential purpose or purchase of the property itself. And the bank wanted the hard corner, of course. The question did come up during the Board of Commissioners meeting, and, this is conditioned for the drive-through and then the bank itself. So there will be some additional land that's associated with it. And should the bank down the road decide, okay, we want to cut this off, they'll have to go through this process again.
so what is going to go on to the north side of that drive?
The north side of the drive, it'll be an underground vault, detention vault, so that'll be there. That's the lowest spot that'll discharge into the existing trees that will be, say, preserving on the site. But then it'll just be, grass and existing trees that are currently on the site.
Okay, so the underground detention is going to go in the back corner,
Yes, sir.
but that whole area where you're going to save the 2 trees,
Yeah, it's a,
Somewhere in there.
yeah,
Yeah, you can use that one.
no, I've got it in here. Thank you, though. I saw that. Where the existing house is, there's a bunch of land off to the right, plan right, which would be the northeast, the east side of the site that's not being disturbed or anything. And what's,
no, we don't,
Are you gonna-
we've done the preliminary grading, and we're not even going to that portion of the site or do any grading in that area.
and it'll always remain open space, or,
It'll just be part of the bank property.
but there's not any plans to try to develop that piece?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Can I ask let me jump in, is the house to remain?
Both of them are coming down.
Okay.
So this will ultimately just be a big green grass yard
It will be.
afterwards? Okay. And then the only other question I had was, it looks like you've got some proposed elevations. That picture that John had up there, or somebody had up there, looking at that house, how it's set down. You're raising the bank, not all the way up flush, but about halfway up?
It'll come up slightly.
Okay,
We have to be careful. It's fairly flat,
Yeah.
but it does all fall to the north. So
Okay.
as it does, I don't think I'm thinking back at the preliminary grading, I don't think we actually raised the site too much at all.
Okay.
Everything worked fine with the underground vault.
yeah, I think currently you got a 780 out there. I can't tell. Looks like maybe a 784. You're 4 feet beneath
Right.
the edge of the
is.
sidewalk. So I was hoping we could maybe pick it up some, but that's, as long as it works. That's really all the questions I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Jim?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In your illustration of the drive-through, it looks like there are 3 lanes planned.
There's also a slip lane in case, so traffic doesn't back up. So there will be three total, and then the slip lane itself. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you projected that'll be sufficient to handle the demand?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I have a couple of things. So the requirement for the downtown ordinance is windows in the front, right? And y'all chose to not do it. Why not do it? I do like the design that you have with your symbol there on the vault area. Why not come in there with windows? We had to do it with ARPS. They had to put in false windows there. I think they actually put a door in a window to meet the downtown ordinance. Why not do that there?
For the right-hand side?
Yeah, underneath the Huntington Bank
Right,
sign.
under there, we looked at it, I think these rooms, the conference room is really not that big at all.
It's not a see-through window, it's a fake window.
Right.
Just so you meet the ordinance, so that we have that consistent look as you're coming down 51.
That's something, we could take a look at for security purposes, of course, for the vault, we would, like.
Yeah,
like
I'm
to
fine
keep
with the
that.
vault, I just think you've got some space there with that blank wall that you could do something.
Okay. Yeah, we do have a door. There's
Yeah, I see
actually a
that.
door that's facing, so those are the two doors, but that's something Jeremy and I can discuss
Okay.
with Huntington Bank.
So your ATM is on the outside lane? I guess you're gonna have an ATM, right?
Yes,
Okay, you're on the outside lane?
yes, sir.
All right, so one of the concerns I always have with the banks, and it took us a while to get Truist to do it, but they just had shrubbery, and it always worried me that somebody could come out of that shrubbery and get to the ATM. So, they end up putting an ornate fence up there to kind of, is that possible around here so that where your ATM is, that somebody couldn't be sitting there waiting for my wife to take it out at night, take money out at night,
Yeah, I
Her
think
50 cents that she takes out every month?
the way we had it, we have the shrubs along the front
Right.
of the bank, and so then there'll be a gap in between. There'll be the 3 kiosks, and then it'll just be open. We have some plantings that are in the back by the parking area, but that area we want to keep that open for visibility purposes.
Yeah, I'm not talking about a high fence. I'm talking about a fence. Shrubs bother me. I don't know how your shrubs are gonna look once they're matured, and if you're gonna have undergrowth too. The people can hide in there, and they wait for somebody to get the ATM, and then they rush out. I'm just, from a security standpoint, to me, it would be good to have something around there to kind of protect people that are using the ATM. I'm not worried about so much during the day, although nowadays you never know, but at night, when people come in to use your ATM, I'm assuming it's a 24-hour ATM.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so when they come in at night, that there is something there to protect them from somebody hiding in the bushes, basically.
Sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's nothing here, but, if somebody coming around, like right here, they've got bushes right here beside the bank. So it's almost like if you had something connected to the bank and came around like a security, it doesn't have to be high, just something to kind of prevent people from just getting in there. Is that something y'all?
Understand. Yeah, that's something we can discuss, yes, sir.
Really, other than that, it's a nice-looking building. I don't know about the color because I'm not a color person. But, yeah, I think it's a nice-looking facility.
Thank you.
Anybody else got anything?
You said you're full-service bank? Full-service,
Yes,
regular
ma'am.
hours? Okay.
All right, I'll entertain a motion if nobody else has any more to discuss.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a favorable motion,
Recommendation.
recommendation for ZC 25-12. That it is, do we have one of these things?
Yeah.
No.
Take it.
ZC 25-12 filed by Joshua Schreppel, Huntington Bank, to allow a bank with a drive-through property located at 7701 Matthews Mint Hill Road. Tax parcel numbers 137063004 and 137063012.
All right, I have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Jim. Any more discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain. Thank you. Just for my information, the motion passes unanimously. Where is this, where y'all out of? Or is it just this bank, or y'all new? Ohio? Yes. Okay. Where else would y'all have banks?
There-
They're actually expanding across North Carolina, South Carolina,
Can you state your name and your address?
Yes.
Speaking
Now,
to-
could you get to the microphone, please?
Sorry. For the minutes.
No problem.
You said you were from Ohio,
I'm not from Ohio, no.
from the bank, isn't?
Your name and address?
My name is Jeremy Fisher. My address is 4432 Carriage Drive Circle, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28205.
Okay, so your banks how many banks do y'all have? I just never heard of it.
Yeah, they're, like I said, expanding in North Carolina and South Carolina. Their proposal is to open about 50 branches across the two states in the next 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
And so we're handling a lot of their business right
Do you
now.
know how many banks y'all have in total now without the expansion?
I don't off the top of my head, but they are pretty prominent in the Northeast, the Midwest, and some on the West Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for just
welcome.
information.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks. All right. Yes, sir.
And I apologize if I. didn't
Oh,
hear
we
it.
need to do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
sorry, Kenny. I should have reminded you. We got to do this statement.
That's what I was,
Oh, is that what you're digging for? Yeah, I don't have mine.
Here it is.
You got it?
there it is. Yeah, I didn't have one. Thank you. Don't need to repeat that?
Yeah. Well, you don't need the motion, just you tie this in.
The favorable recommendation for CZ 25 appears to be, 25-12 appears to be consistent with the adopted land use plan, which designates the subject property as part of the downtown. This land use category supports a broad range of uses. Downtown municipal centers are established centers of commerce in the county. They are local serving areas of economic activity and community-focused gatherings and entertainment characterized by a broad range of uses and higher intensity development. These centers are the more urbanized areas of Mint Hill. Therefore, the rezoning request is deemed reasonable in the public interest and consistent with the adopted land use plan.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
All right. Anything else, John, for the meeting? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
You all want to stay? A second?
Second.
Kenny second. All right. Yeah. Jim motioned and Kenny second. All right, meeting's over. Thank you all for coming.
Good to see you.